Hi, this is my meatloaf recipe, just a tad spicy. You're gonna need a pound of ground beef or ground turkey, your choice. You're also gonna need an approximate of 3/4 cups of chopped onion and 8 ounces of chopped mushroom. Also 1 to 2 garlic cloves chopped, which I didn't have on this day, so I used powder. You're also gonna need salt and pepper to taste, 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, 1 cup of breadcrumbs. I used panko, half a cup of milk or chicken broth, and 3 tablespoons approximately of chopped parsley. For the ketchup topping, you will need half a cup of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground mustard, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. So next we're going to start heating up our butter or oil in a frying pan, and we're going to start cooking all of our chopped vegetables. Those are the onions, the mushrooms, and garlic if you have it, fresh garlic. In this occasion I did not have it, so I just added it in powder. It is called adobo seasoning. You will see it in a minute. It has salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic in it. Once your vegetables are done cooking, which takes approximately 8 minutes, you will remove them from the heat and let them cool down. So now we are going to start combining most of our ingredients. We will start by breaking down the ground beef. Then you will start to add the breadcrumbs, the milk or chicken broth, and your tablespoon of hot sauce. You can totally omit this if you are not a fan of spicy. 1 teaspoon of pepper and 1 teaspoon of salt. A little bit less, I think. And then you just start mixing up, combining all of those ingredients so they integrate very well. Next, we're going to crack open 1 large egg so that it starts binding everything together. And so far on this occasion, I was really good of just mixing everything with the wooden spoon instead of getting my hands dirty. At the end, I will go ahead and added my herbs. The original recipe calls for parsley, but in this occasion I had cilantro. Let me tell you, it was really good flavor. Then once your veggie mixture is nice and cool, you need to make sure it's nice and cool so it doesn't start cooking your ground beef. You go ahead and add it to the mixture. So now let's start preparing our baking dish. In this occasion I use butter, but it is much easier to use the cooking oil spray and just spray your dish. Okay, so the last step, I did get my hands messy just to check the consistency of my meatloaf. So this is the nice time to go ahead and adjust the amounts of breadcrumbs. I did notice that it wasn't really binding together, so I sprinkled a little bit more until you get the desired consistency, which should look like that, like just one big ball, everything together, well combined. Now you just shape it onto your oven dish, and once you have it to the shape you want, you will start working on your ketchup topping. I will show you again the ingredients you will need for this special topping, and it was a cup of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and an eighth of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. I only have a quarter of a teaspoon measurement available, so I just make sure and fill it up halfway. And the same thing for the ground mustard. You just scoop half of that quarter teaspoon measurement, and then you just make sure you dissolve everything, especially the sugar, and combine all your ingredients very well. Once your topping is ready to spread on top of your meatloaf, go ahead and do so. This is by far the most favorite part of the meatloaf, the burnt edges of ketchup. So once your meatloaf is nice and ready, you go ahead and put it in the preheated oven for 45 to 60 minutes, depending on your oven. This is something we do just because we like our meatloaves on the drier side, so I make sure and get rid of all that extra liquid so that we finish up with this delicious meatloaf. Thanks for watching.